And after trying to do a live and failing, I think I need and deserve a coffee. Hello, hello. I am Julie, and you are watching my channel, ATTIC TREASURES FLEA MARKET. This is now a pre-recorded episode of a live episode that I attempted but failed. And multiple things seemed to go wrong. So I need to figure out the mechanics behind the live. See, I'm not doing it at home. I'm in my storage garage. So I have to depend on my Wi-Fi. I had an iPad and everything seemed to be working okay, except the, what do you call it? It was vertical, not horizontal. And I could have sworn that I had that set up to be horizontal. And then during, I think what really messed it up is I got a phone call. I didn't put it on airplane mode or whatever you're supposed to put it on. Anyhow, welcome. And if you are new to my channel, welcome back. If you have been a faithful subscriber, I appreciate it so much. My name is Julie. I'm a longtime picker, thrifter, buyer, seller of vintage, antiques, uniques, secondhand, and pre-loved items. And twice a week, I spend time in one of my two storage garages. On Tuesdays, I'm in storage garage 2, so that's where we are right now. And on Fridays, I'm in storage garage number 1. And during those times that I'm in those garages, I'm with you, I'm handpicking some items and showing them to you and getting them, then they get put into my car and get prettied up, cleaned up, photoed, and put into my eBay store. And by the way, I am catching up because I did fall behind with some of the previous episode showings that I had. So I've been working fiercely to get those in. Anyhow, today I'll show you at the end. I already took that video of a updated walkthrough of what this garage has, and right now I'm gonna handpick some items that I will be putting up into my eBay store. And my eBay store, by the way, is ATTIC TREASURES FLEA MARKET, and I'll put the little logo up there for you. I welcome you to go and visit my eBay store, even just to browse. If you are, if you've shopped, browsed, bought from my eBay store, I give you a double thumbs up. In the meantime, if you haven't given me a thumbs up for this video, I appreciate if you would do so. So let's get started. You know, I drink coffee and I love coffee. And after trying to do a live and failing, I think I need and deserve a coffee. So I'm going to pour a tall one, I guess you could say. I ask you can join me with your cup of coffee or tea. And I'm using one of my own mugs. This is an old general store here on Deer Isle. Hardy's General Store. No longer in existence, was around for a long time. My dad, you know, all the fellas, it was the place for the fellas to go and just, you know, shoot the, you know, what. I never was there, but it was an early morning get-together for the fellas. I did, however, get a mug. He retired from that. Hardy was his last name, and he retired years, at least a couple decades ago, and has since passed. So we have a little memorabilia there. Okay, previous episodes have been nautical, and I'm sticking with that. It's summer, Maine, nautical. What's not to love? All right, let's see. I'm going to show you. No, let me show you this first. This, I'm showing you my favorite piece first. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm doing it because I just love it. This is a handcrafted ceramic fish. It has a hang loop on the back. There's initials there, EM. And I hope that I'm giving this justice. This is just beautiful. Unique too. You know, there are ceramic fish on eBay, but you know, because it's artist made, I guess you would say one of a kind. So, he by EM will be going into my eBay store. Now, I don't think the fish here in Maine look as bright as this, but it's still a great find. Still a great find. And then, well, this is probably my second favorite. This is, you know, it's wood. It's all wood. I think it's sculpted or carved. And it's in the shape of a life preserver and paddles. It does have the hang hooks. Have some hang hooks on the back. I'm just going to show this to you real close. Another unique item. I really have not, I didn't see anything like this on eBay. So somebody, whoever did this or whatever maker made this, I think they did a good job. Again, it's not overly heavy, but it is heavy. That's why it needs two hang hooks there. But this is definitely nautical. Going into my eBay store. These two are already in my eBay store. You know, there are some things that I, you know, get listed quite quickly, or maybe you could say I'm like ahead of the game. But these are two examples of, these are shadow boxes. I did not make these. And they have seashells in them. That has basically kind of a blue background. It does come with a hanger. It's all wood. And you know, if you didn't really like what's in the shadow box, you could take the back off and make your own shadow box. So these are already, both of them are in my eBay store already. And this is the other one. Again, it has the seashells and some dried flowers, pink background, hanger on the back. And, you know, like I said, if you don't like what's inside, but you like to make shadow boxes, here you go. Another wall piece, and I have always loved this. Now, I'm going to get a lot of stuff in the background that's not going to help show you those seagulls, but somebody hand painted seagulls on a mirror, and I think that's a fantastic idea. It too comes with a hanger. And, you know, I just think that's great. So I'm just going to put it up kind of close for you. So if you're looking for seagulls and a mirror, you have found it. Now, we don't really have seahorses here, or at least if we do, they're rare. But we do have seashells. We have starfish. And this is another one-of-a-kind, unique find. It is very thick, heavy glass. Frosted with the shells, shell design, seahorses, the starfish. And I suppose you could use this for multiple. I mean, the first thing I thought of was like an ice bucket. It never had a cover, or at least when I got it, it did not have a cover. I suppose you could use this. I'd hate to put a plant in it. You know, when it comes to putting, I suppose you could, if you put a pot there, pot in it, maybe a wicker, something that would complement the starfish and the shells and the seahorses. Or, you know, I suppose you could also use it as a wastebasket. Or just a display. Again, it's in great shape. Even the bottom is frosted. No maker. I don't know who made this, but I haven't weighed it yet, but it is heavy and thick. Thick glass. So that might be a little pricey to ship, but you know, for a one of a kind, you just might appreciate that. Now let's see. I have a lamp. Now, you know, if you're in storage garage number two, you know you have to see at least one lamp. And this is an Adirondack chair on a slate. Let me just take off the shade for you so you can kind of get a good look at this. It's a lime green. Got a light bulb in there. You know, this is probably, who knows, I had found this lamp. It could be from Target. And I'm the one that put it on the slate. It's a rock slate. And I found a shade. It didn't come with a shade, but I did find a shade to put on it. And you know, that's unique. That's, you know, for those who sit in their Adirondack chair. Unique. Another unique item. Ah, boy, I need to take a sip. Hopefully I don't seem too frazzled. You know, it's just trying to do a live and failing is frustrating. So I'm going to get up for a couple of these other items. Let's see, I think I have... Yeah. Oh. Well, from me to you, from Maine to wherever you are, and let me know in the comments if you're watching this, where you are watching this from. It's interesting to see, you know, who, where people are watching from. And this is just simple wall decor, mass produced. I had sold several of these in my booth when I had an antique booth, or a booth at an antique mall. And that's the only one that I have left. It's got some shells there. And again, welcome, Maine. Welcome to Maine. This one is that I'm going to show you next, is a vintage framed poster. And I'm going to try not to, or limit, and I have to look at my cheat sheet here. It's, let's see, Cape Cod, Nobska Point Lighthouse. Now, I don't know the age of this poster. I can tell you that it probably, I think I got this back in the 80s, but I'm really not sure. I've had this quite a long time. I had this actually in my apartment. My goodness, back, you know, in the late 80s. And the reason why I know this poster is vintage is because the house there that's connected to the lighthouse, you know, the lighthouse keeper house, is no longer blue and has not been blue since the 1930s. I think it was the Coast Guard, and again, I'll take a look at my notes. I think it was the Coast Guard back in the 30s that acquired this lighthouse, and in staying with the standards, everything got painted, you know, the lighthouse, what do you call it? The Coast Guard color of white. So, it's, I don't know if I'm gonna, I'll show you, it does have a hang wire. Nothing special about the back, and like I said, this is just nothing special about the frame, but it is just a framed poster of the lighthouse in Cape Cod. So I've had this, like I said, since the 80s, and I would love to see it go to somebody who either hails from the Cape or appreciates the Cape, or maybe is a collector of vintage lighthouse posters. That certainly is a nice one. So, well, I appreciate you joining me today, because I filmed this late in the day. It probably will be late getting up, but I spend, like I said, Tuesdays in storage garage number 2, Fridays in storage garage number 1. Believe it or not, I'm going to reattempt my next live this Friday in my storage garage number 1. So wish me luck. The items that are, I think you would have seen already, the items that are already listed in my eBay store, I'll put a picture of that in the corner. And the other items that I showed you, I'll try to get those listed up in my eBay store quickly. It usually does take me a couple of days to get listings in, but if I spy something on the walkthrough video or something I showed you today that you have an interest in, whether you want to buy it or not, or just maybe if you want to hear about it, let me know in the comments. And I will see you again this Friday. Thank you. Have a great day. Hi, this is Julie. I'm going to start this video, and I'm not certain if I'm going to put this at the beginning or the end, but I wanted to grab some footage before it got, you know, kind of dim here. It's after 5:30, and for those of you who may have chimed into my live, it was a failure. Something went funky with my phone, and I'm still unfamiliar with, you know, how to do the lives. So I think I need more practice, and today would have been a good day, but you know, I'm going to try this again in my other garage on Friday. So in the meantime, what I'm doing is I'm going to give you a updated view of my overfull storage garage number 2. It's Tuesday, so we are in storage garage number 2. And I had this all nice and straightened up for you. I even swept the floors. Yes, I do sweep the floors in my garage. Yep, I use every inch of space. Don't mean to make you too dizzy, but I am showing you the above as I head out towards the start of the garage. And here we go. Lamps. Yes, this is the garage where I have my hoard of lamps. And this is, actually, these are items that I currently have in my eBay store. Just a little overage. I can only hold so many things at home. And I do have things up above. And if you've been watching my channel, yeah, I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'll bring you down and we'll walk through. I'll highlight a couple of things. This is kind of a neat, somebody started to make a lamp out of that. I've got to do some rewiring on it, but it is unique, you might say. A lot of lamps in there. Oh boy, do I have lamps. I had over 300 of them. I think I'm down to 200 and something, but you tell me as you're walking through with me, how many lamps do you think I have? Most of them are table lamps. A lot are truly vintage, like this one. And I even have some oil lamps. Obviously, lamp parts. Outdoor lamps, lanterns. Yes, this garage also has furniture. And that was my setup there. There's my partner in crime for the evening. My chair that I'll sit back in when I'm back on my episode. This episode, I'm going to show you some new reveals of what I'm going to be putting into my eBay store. And yes, if you've been watching any of my recent episodes, they have been nautical in nature. So we're going to keep with that theme. This is that stool that I showed in a previous episode that I need to reupholster. Like as if I don't have enough projects. I even found another stool that needs reupholstering. I keep my art, canvas art, etc. in this garage. Yes, lots of lampshades. And my last live, I went through that box. So if you haven't seen that live, which was about a month ago, please do. I went through some old photo albums, including some old, I think 1940s, 1930s train prints. Old train locomotive prints, black and white. Okay, well, you know, we're in Maine, so of course you have to have an LL Bean bag. So, this is my most recent walkthrough, and now I'd like you to join me, or maybe you already have, for a sit down and chat and a reveal of what I am putting up into my eBay store.